that's it.
Oh, wait, we're live now.
Yeah, we're live now.
All right, hit the intro, Jesse.
All right.
Jesse! Hit the intro. Hearing the intro in my head, even though we can't really hear it.
Fuck you.
Swing and a miss for Jesse Long. You want to try that again? Oh.
I might. Welcome to the pre-show, everybody. We don't have Sam Roberts. We don't have
I want this to be the whole show. I just want to watch you flailing to be the whole show.
Having cat allergies all day.
Yes. I'm perfectly okay with that. Yeah, why is it so quiet?
Because I didn't turn the volume up.
It's only after you're forced to listen to it do you realize how long the intro is.
Oh, no, it's very long.
All right, everybody.
This is the second time you've done this.
What? Oh, okay.
I actually have to hit record. And the fucking thing is on top of the key, on the space bar again. Ah, shit! Fuck!
This is like watching three monkeys trying to use a typewriter.
It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times.
What the hell does that even mean?
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Wrestle Crush.
Don't touch it! Don't touch it! You're gonna hit the space bar and it's gonna... no!
There we are.
Okay, fine.
I am the Sussman, Rick Sussman, one of your two glorious hosts. My other host is the old
The
lady.
three monkeys with a typewriter.
The old lady cat here. Her name's Baby. She's 23. Everyone pay reverence. Also, No Fucks Given Cat has returned. And of course, the real American man.
I'm the TNA of the wrestling week now. I'm the bottom of the pile.
Well, I mean, it is the last of the takeaways. Anyway,
there we go.
You are watching Wrestle Crush Whenever for this Sunday, February the 12th. We are not brought to you this week by Cold Brew Highbrow. Right.
Highbrow.
Highbrew.
There you go.
Highbrew. Cold Brew Highbrew. Because I found you at Safeway.
And you thought it said Hebrew.
There's actually a beer called Hebrew.
Is there?
It's delicious. That's a chocolate stout.
Is it kosher?
You don't have to look into that.
Beer can be kosher, right?
I would assume if a rabbi blessed it. Anyway.
Exactly. There you go.
Are you going to hang out with us the entire show, sweetheart? She really is 23, so let's give reverence.
I was younger than 23 when we started the original show.
Oh, right. The longest-running insequential podcast about wrestling-based aficionados in the history of the internets.
Yes.
Team Ham Fish, Jesse Long, Rick Sussman. We are...
The best podcast you've never listened to.
The best podcast you shouldn't listen to. And we're going to enjoy... I have Mexican vanilla.
And I have double espresso because I think it's been well established that I'm a caffeine addict.
All right, here we go. I've never had one of these before. Have you? Clink.
Not bad.
Tastes like
I like it. I like this better than... I've had Bustelo cans.
Welcome, Cody.
Hello.
Or Attack.
It's
Thick ass Cody. I like that. You gotta get the pop going.
Hopefully that's not Izzy's dad with some on some sort of secret account somewhere.
If that is, then that's the closest we've gotten to having a celebrity on our program, so that's fine. I'm totally okay with
One
that.
of these we're gonna have to get Izzy. She'll be our biggest
No,
guest ever.
we're not. That is a bad idea. We should have Izzy's mom and
You mean
dad.
we shouldn't have?
No.
You mean we shouldn't have a 9-year-old girl sit on this couch?
No. Maybe mom and dad.
There we go.
Maybe.
We'll get Cody.
So, this week's episode, we have lots to discuss. We are on the road to WrestleMania here in balmy Orlando, Florida. And right now, the card for
Right
WrestleMania...
down the road.
Yeah. The card for WrestleMania looks... horrible?
Yeah, I've got I didn't send it to you because it's not ready yet, but I have a note in my phone called Speculate Mania 33, where it's just all the matches that seem are speculative, and I threw in some ones that, like, based on what's happening right now, where I'm hoping it would go, or I'm, like, seeing, not hoping, because if I get what I hope for, we're going to get, like, Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens in the main event.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. It's not fucking happening. So, you know, like, the obvious ones, like the obvious main events that we're going to get, and the obvious, you know, and then I try to hash out or suss out.
Oh yes. You want to suss it out.
The card, man. It's just like I'm having to
wait.
predict sadness.
Yes. So WrestleMania 30 Orlando looks WrestleMania Orlando 2 looks.
There you go.
Looks
back to Orlando.
Looks to be
with the chains and all.
Looks to be I'm gonna call it Oldomania.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it.
Or
we're gonna call it the other day on in the Pro Wrestling Nerds group, Facebook.com/group/Pro Wrestling or PW Nerds, I think. I think it's called #No Fucks Mania.
Yeah, No Fucks Given Mania.
Yeah.
As if to say, listen, we know you guys might be interested in the following matchups, but whatever, we're just going to give you these anyway, so enjoy yourself.
You can tell, obviously, they're trying to cater to two audiences at the same time because Mania it's their Super Bowl, it's their big...
Right.
It's their big money event. It's their Black Friday. It's their everything. and so they want to cast a wide net, but in this, I feel like their wide net has a lot of holes in it, and the fish that, like, you might catch like some really big fish, but like the smaller fish that you need to supplant the big fish are going to slip right through, and I've run out of
fishing
continue. Metaphor.
This fishy metaphor has been fantastic.
It's very fishy.
So perhaps the biggest issue, ordeal, what have you, of the WrestleMania speculatories.
Yeah.
For me, anyway, is the fact that Dadberg appears to be ready, set to relieve
willing, and Gable
to relieve Mr. Kevin Owens of his official WWE Universal title. Props. And relinquish it so that he can then drop it.
Yeah, because obviously Kevin's just getting tired of wearing the belt. It's so heavy.
How many times has Kevin Owens defended the Universal title?
He's defended it almost every pay-per-view, and usually against Roman Reigns.
The only person he's allowed to defend.
I'm trying to think. Okay.
Yeah.
He's defended it against Seth because Seth, and then it's been Seth and Roman this whole time, and he defended it against Braun on Monday, or like a couple Mondays ago, and that's about it. And the whole point is the list. Everything is the list. Everything is, the Chris and Kevin / Kevin and Chris show. And
well, do you think going into what's the next Raw pay-per-view? Because Elimination Chamber tonight, and we'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
But
Fastlane is in a few weeks.
Going into Fastlane, do you think outside of some really, really sweet Twitter burns, does Kevin Owens stand a chance of walking out of Fastlane?
No, he doesn't. And the only chance he stands is which the WWE has done in the past, which is they will. It seems like there's an obvious conclusion,
right?
And then just because it's the obvious conclusion, they will go in the opposite direction. And I'd be fine with that if it all seems lost for Kevin Owens, all seems lost for the hope of the indie fans. The cat's gonna fuck it up again.
No, she's fine. No. She's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the cat. Okay. She'll do what she wants. She's 23, dude. She does what she wants.
I know. There's a cat.
We gotta hashtag this with cats next time.
We should.
Look. She's
cat
really
podcast.
Hello. You do it. What are you doing? All right. I think
cat's just gonna stand in front of me the whole time.
She wants to be on camera. Cat butt in your face. Cat butt in your. Sit right on my props, baby. Sit right directly on my. That's great. Thank you. What do you do with a 23-year-old cat that just usurps all of your potential video time?
This is gonna be the highest rated show just because there's cats on it.
Well, I mean the inner tubes.
That's true. Anyway,
here's the problem with what you're suggesting, though. So Dadberg has been on a really hot streak for a guy in his mid-50s
until he decided to have a fight with a door.
Well, listen, I fought a door, and now I can't move my pinky beyond this point. Like, see, can you do this? Can you do this? Yeah. That's as far as that one goes. Because I punched a metal door and broke my hand in 3 places.
Don't do that.
Nah, beer and women will get you in bad ways.
I put a hole in a wall once.
Yeah,
it didn't feel good.
Put a hole in the middle and it goes right through.
Sorry, talking about beer and women again?
Maybe. So why that won't happen? Why Dadberg can't lose going into WrestleMania?
No, he's not going to lose. You're not going to have Kevin Owens get a clean win over Goldberg when he's supposed to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania because it takes all of...
Even if Kevin Owens gets like a shenanigans steel-wired cattle prod...
That's the only hope, is that or if Brock comes in and fucks him up, and fucks him over for the Universal title, which I'm going to borrow a logic flaw from Mike from the Mayhem Show Midweek War, because something basically just happened on TNA this past week. Davey Richards turned on Eddie Edwards while Eddie was in the middle of trying to win the TNA title. Mike made a good point. Why would you screw over the guy that you're trying to turn on when he's about to win the title? Why don't you let him win the title, then turn on him? So why would, Brock's not the logic would be...
Right. The logic would be, I want to fight that guy at Mania if he's got the title, and
It's even better.
He's
got a prize and all that, blah, blah, blah.
The other side of the coin is Goldberg hasn't lost since his return. Now, granted...
He hasn't lost... I don't even know. He probably lost like 3 times his last WWE run.
That's a really good question. Here's a great question. Who is the most protected wrestler in history? It's probably Goldberg.
Goldberg's right up there.
It's got to be.
Brock, it certainly isn't Brock. It's,
He lost a few times in
Cena's
WCW.
lost a bajillion times.
Cena loses all the time. You can't be a 16-time world champion without losing 15 times.
Exactly.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to reposition the camera a little bit so it's not
sliding down. Yeah.
There we are.
Hey,
there we go. So next on the WrestleMania agenda,
there's a lot going on with WrestleMania. None of it seems good.
I want to talk specifically about the other title, the actual championship,
WWE championship.
Yeah, the actual WWE championship match, which features John Cena potentially.
Yeah.
Going up against Randy Orton.
Yeah, on paper now, it's John Cena versus Randy Orton.
It's potential mania.
Fucking no thank you mania. And
what do you got against potential mania?
I don't want to see that. I don't... John Cena versus Randy Orton doesn't sound like...
That's not going to work.
What do you John Cena versus Randy Orton doesn't sound like... it's not a WrestleMania main event match anymore. In this climate, it isn't.
So that brings us right to Elimination Chamber time.
All right, yes.
So tonight is Elimination Chamber.
We'll talk about WrestleMania.
Well, what else?
After.
What else do you have for WrestleMania?
There's seeds are basically being planted for Undertaker's match being against Roman Reigns.
Oh, right, the Undertaker.
Which the original plan was supposed to be Taker and Cena.
Could you imagine if Reigns beats Undertaker
at
Mania in Orlando to end the Undertaker's run?
I think it's going to happen. Happen.
What will the internet do?
Oh, it's gonna be like a fatwa, and the only word I can think of.
Excellent use.
Yeah. And it's gonna be scary. We live 30 minutes down the road from the Citrus Bowl. We're gonna have to like.
How funny is it that we're both planning at this current rate? I'm not going.
Oh, I'm not going. I'm not going. That's like it. This is my luck. WrestleMania weekend is my daughter's birthday weekend.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have had kids.
There you go. I love my kids. But, as it stands right now...
My business.
As it stands right now, like, try to maybe do a big podcast with the IndieCast guys.
Yeah, if they let us.
Yeah, they let us. If we pay them.
Good swag.
Yeah, kidding. And maybe go to the Midnight Kaiju Big Battle show.
Yeah, because that's like right here.
Yeah, it's like all of the More Than Mania events from WWN are literally not even 15 minutes from here.
I would like to see Kaiju Big Battle. Okay, all right.
Kaiju Big Battle at midnight sounds like a fun show.
We're off topic.
Yes, as we tend to do.
Right.
There's Roman and Taker.
Yeah.
Chris and Kevin probably for the United States Championship at this point, which, as I said in our group, Chris and Kevin for the United States Championship instead of the Universal Championship sounds like the Patriots and the Falcons in a charity game, as opposed to the Super Bowl.
Well, I have another idea. What if, and this is stupid, but what if they build the Chris Jericho-Kevin Owens feud through next WrestleMania?
I'd be fine with that. And knowing that the long-term goal would be Chris and Kevin at next Mania for the big title, I'd be okay with knowing that the U.S. title would be, if it's U.S. title this year and then Universal title next year.
I don't think any of
I don't
that's
think.
happening.
No. We are gonna get a Chris and Kevin match where
It's probably gonna. Yeah, but
I can't even wrap my head around what the tag title.
it's probably gonna be a
both sets of tag
Backlash or something though. But
I don't even know. Chris is leaving after WrestleMania.
oh, okay. Well,
Fozzie's going back on tour, but hey, he's stuck around for like the past year. He usually only comes around this time,
Yeah.
and then he leaves. He's come around, and this is the best Chris Jericho we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
And so like I don't know what the fuck the tag titles are doing on either side. I don't know what the women's title's doing on either side. The only thing that I see as a potential lock right now that doesn't make me just miserable,
Right.
I would bet on there being the requisite multi-man ladder match at WrestleMania being for the Cruiserweight title.
Okay, but that
Doesn't make me miserable.
That also sounds terrible because listen, we watched the CWC. I was there mostly in person.
Yeah.
Watching these guys do 25-minute matches was incredible. Now, granted, TJ Perkins knew one match and he did it 5 times and won the title, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll take what we can get. Watching
TJ Perkins is like the Hatchimals of wrestling. Like, it seems so... It's like the
you have to have it, and then you get it, and you're like, "This is shit." Why did I
it's
spend?
hatched.
Why
It
did I
hatched.
spend so much money on this?
I would have said Tickle Me Elmo, but that leaves some
Well,
very specific connotations that I'm just gonna.
I would think that's a bit dated of a reference too, but
Gonna leave that one. Can't say anything more.
Let's assume that the WrestleMania match for the requisite ladder match, which is usually the Money in the Bank match.
No, it's not. Money in the Bank has last year's
Intercontinental. Yeah, okay. Let's assume it is for the Cruiserweight title.
Yeah.
And it literally just is a bunch of spots.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a spot fest. Spot, and Austin Aries wins.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only way that is good is if Ricochet shows up, who just rips the belt off.
If they do another Cruiserweight Classic this year, which they probably will.
Nope.
You don't think they will?
Women's title. Women's.
No.
Women's.
No, they're going to do all of them.
No.
They're going to do a women's one.
Listen.
And then they're going to do a Cruiserweight one, and then they have the Dusty Classic, and then they
NXT is going from having not enough titles to it's going to have like 75. All right, it's going to have
all the Chaos Emerald Championships. And yeah. Well, no, I mean it wouldn't be for the NXT Women's title, but like, yeah, they're
but they're going to make a new one. So you got.
I think that one would probably.
You got the UK title. You got the NXT title. You got the NXT Women's title. You got the NXT International Women's Association title.
The NXT Women's Silver title. The silver belt.
So you've got the tag team titles. Then you've got the Dusty title. Then you've got the three-man band title. Then you've got the Band in the USA title.
Yeah.
Then
the hardcore.
Then you've got the Nogueira title, and that just means you have a really big foot. And
Bigfoot Championship. And Braun wins it.
Always. He's the only one who's alive.
No, I think if they do the women's tournament, it'll be for probably for number one contender.
So here, think about what you're just saying, okay?
Yeah.
You just went through a grueling tournament against all these other women to have the opportunity
to lose to Asuka.
Well, maybe not even to lose to Asuka, but just to fight for the subsidiary title on a promotion that is the smaller promotion.
Yeah, I don't see what the light at the end of the tunnel for the women's. Well, I mean, there's the Dusty Classic. You get a trophy.
Yeah, but the Dusty Classic is full of tag teams that are already established within the WWE.
That's true.
All of these women are going to be coming to Orlando to tournament for a shot at a title that, even if they win, it's not the women's title of SmackDown or Raw. It's NXT. Which, listen, we love NXT, we adore NXT, but if we're looking at NXT as a reality, the reality is that is a developmental title.
Exactly.
You are now the OVW Women's Champion. Thanks for flying in from goddamn Japan. Have a great day.
Great job, Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I know you came from Gettysburg. Oh, I'm sorry. No, what would it be? It would be Hamburg, which is in Germany. Hamburg. Thanks for flying in. Now you get a shot at a title that ultimately means nothing.
Great job, Kimberly. You went through Candice LeRae, Heidi Lovelace, and Blue Pants and you get a shot at knocking off Asuka because she needs to finally go to Raw.
All right, so maybe the women's tournament's going to be a little bit.
Moving on.
WrestleMania.
We'll talk about WrestleMania later. There's plenty of WrestleMania to talk about. My Speculate Mania sheet is longer than my phone can hold on one screen.
So
it's going to be like 10 matches at least.
Well, why don't we go ahead and produce that on the Team Ham and Fish
Yeah, I'll
Team
post
HAMMA FIST Twitter
Yeah,
page.
yeah.
I like saying Team HAMMA FIST.
it's gonna throw off.
Let's talk. Let's non sequitur.
Yeah.
Segue.
Yeah.
Watch this. Watch
Hard
this.
cut.
Sorry, this coffee.
Based on Saturday Night Live. Hard cut.
Yeah, there you go. To something bizarre.
Bizarre, to say the least.
A story came out this week. A true story.
It's
no
a real
less.
story. It's real.
It's based on a true story.
And yeah.
That The Rock's production company did not know he had one of those.
Yes, $7 Productions, because that's as much as the next movie's gonna make.
What's the name of his company?
$7 Productions.
Really?
Yeah, $7.
I wonder what that was in relation to.
I don't know.
Like Worldwide Pants? Nobody knows these things.
Yeah.
Anyway, The Rock's production company.
Team HAMMA FIST.
Well,
Yeah, there's a reason, but yeah, but does anyone?
We can explain it.
Yeah, there you go. The Rock can't explain it.
I want to know. I want to know what the hell that is. So
he needs to stop promoting Baywatch and come on our show and explain.
He should have stopped promoting Baywatch a long time ago.
All right, that's gonna be a solid Netflix viewing. It's gonna be like not even like maybe if I get a code for Redbox that day.
You know, Redbox went up in price.
Did it?
It's $1.50.
Fuck you, Redbox.
Yeah, $1.50. Okay, back on topic.
Yeah, back on track.
So,
Man, this fucking high brew is.
It's
I'm thinking it's emphasis on the high at this point.
well, yeah, put a little THC in it.
Yeah.
A little THC in you in the morning.
You're breaking my straight edge, Rick.
Oh yeah. You and all the other straight edge guys that I know and have hung out with, and things.
Converted to not straight edge.
Um,
All right, so the Rock's production company, based on this, and he tells the
what gimmick? You ruined it in front of me.
based on the fact that he tells the story of like how this came to fruition is that he couldn't sleep at 3 a.m, and he watched the documentary.
You know, when it's 3 a.m. and I can't sleep, I frequently watch things about Paige as well. This is entirely different, though.
Yeah, okay. I can't think of a joke.
It's not a joke.
It's not. God, she was so great. Anyway, so he watches the documentary that it wasn't the BBC, but it was one of the other British channels. They put out.
There's more than one British channel?
It's like Channel 4 or ITV or something like that.
So he's watching.
He watches the documentary Fighting With My Family, which is the story of Paige's family.
Yeah.
And it was done before, like, right as Paige was getting signed, so she's still in it.
Well, and for those who don't know, Paige's family is a wrestling family.
Paige's mom, she wrestles frequently here, even in Florida for like Shine, and she wrestles in Shimmer. And a bunch of her brothers are wrestlers. Her dad was a wrestler. Paige famously makes the joke that she was, bumping in the womb because her mom didn't know she was pregnant. Mom was pregnant and still wrestling. Maybe explains all of Paige. Just putting the cards on the table.
All of this means, though.
So The Rock called all of his people.
My people.
All of his peoples, the millions and millions of The Rock's people. And so they're going to have a film adaptation.
Yes, because this is
Paige's life story. God damn it, Rick.
I'm sorry. I'm just readjusting the camera.
All right, cool.
There you go.
The Paige the movie is happening.
Right.
And Lena Headey is playing Paige's mom.
Now, who do I know who's Lena Headey?
She's on Game of Thrones.
Okay, so
She was in some Terminator thing.
which Game of Thrones is she?
She's got short hair.
Uh-huh. She's not Arya Stark, is she?
No. Get on your phone and look up Lena Headey. You're gonna have a big Goodell moment as soon as you. And then Nick Frost is playing her dad.
I like that.
Ian, playing her dad Ian. Paige is being played by an unknown Florence Pugh or something like that.
I don't know who this person is.
Lena fucking Headey. She plays
Lena Headey?
Lena Headey. She fucking Christ.
You're saying the name. You're like, oh, Lena Headey.
I know.
Look up Lena Headey. You'll know exactly who she is when you say. No.
Cersei Lannister.
Oh, she doesn't have blonde hair, man.
There you go. It's fucking.
Yeah,
Cersei
she
Lannister.
just said Cersei Lannister. What the hell's your
I
problem?
don't watch Game of
Just fucking
Thrones.
Say Cersei Lannister.
I don't know what the fuck
and everyone
Cersei-
will know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so Sarah's mom, not Sarah, because it's like Soraya is her name. Paige's mom is being played by Cersei Lannister. Her name's like Soraya. Paige's real name is Soraya or something. Soraya, because she's named after her mom's gimmick name.
Right.
Yeah. It's like Sweet Soraya or Sweet
Okay.
Soraya.
Let's cut to the
It's
hand and
just-
fish on this.
Yeah.
Do you want to see a
Not even a fucking second. Not even a fucking second. I don't care. I don't care who the fuck's playing Paige's mom. I don't care who's playing. Like Stephen Merchant from The Office is writing, directing, and producing this thing. And this is
gonna be a
WWE Studios is attached to this.
dramatic comedy?
They're attached to this, even though Paige is like trying to like she's just going fuck off, I'm trying to leave. And what the? This is the most bizarre story I've heard in a long time in wrestling, and
That's saying something in and of itself.
it is. And like, yeah, I don't give a shit who's playing anybody. You know, I made the joke. I only will care if Danny Trejo is playing Alberto Del Rio. And
I don't think Danny Trejo is evil enough to play Alberto Del Rio this
I don't
but
think
I also don't think
he's gone to jail, and I think he's actually killed people.
I don't think you know who's the real heel in all this isn't even Alberto Del Rio.
I think Alberto Del Rio might be the real heel in this whole situation.
Yeah, he's gonna be a dad.
Is he?
There was that tweet.
Oh, is she pregnant now?
It's just what the tweet said.
Oh, I thought she was doing MMA. 6 of 1. I don't think she'd carry the. Knowing
Both take
her,
about 9 months and end in tragedy. So
I don't think one would stop the other. Truth be told,
I don't know. He tweeted out something about her being pregnant, and then he called us all marks for believing it. So
yeah, of course. Oh yeah, he just fucked around with everybody. I can't. The whole Paige Alberto Del Rio WWE thing, I can't even wrap my head around it. And it, honestly, I feel bad for Paige because she was this wonderful. She had this like white hot potential.
Wow, hang on, wait. Let me see if I can think this one through. Okay, she was white hot in NXT,
And it's not just a reference to her being pale as the driven snow.
That's fun. So she's on fire in NXT.
Yes.
She's then called up to the WWE.
At 20,
Whatever.
19, 20, 21, something like that.
She's called up.
Yeah.
They proceed to do nothing with her. She fizzles out and now wants to leave.
Yes. Fizzles out, wants to leave, is surrounded by a bunch of bunch of hot dudes who want to fuck her.
I can't think of this ever having happened before.
She has a bunch of friends who all they ever want to do is go out and get drunk.
All I wanna
And
do.
and her family is a bajillion miles away. I don't see how that lends itself to a bad situation.
Now, this situation is terrible, but it did lead to an interesting conversation that you and I had.
Yes.
Jesse,
Yes.
if there was a movie about a WWE wrestler,
Or in the Page movie.
sure. Who would you fantasy cast as members of the crew?
All right, I'm trying to think. I was
Okay.
trying to rack my brain, like who plays Vince? Because if this is the Page movie, unless the Page movie literally ends with her like signing the contract, getting on the plane, and flying to Orlando.
But even then, she probably would have had to have met with Vince.
Yeah,
once.
like who plays Vince?
Okay.
Who plays Triple H?
Yes.
Like WWE guys probably won't. Like, there's no like.
Okay. Well. Who do you got? Who plays Vince?
I'm trying to think who plays Vince.
Yeah. It's a hard question to ask. Like, who would you think would be an actor who can embody the role of Vincent Kennedy McMahon?
Like, based on the fact that we've got, like, Lena Headey and, like, Nick Frost, who actually have some name value to them.
Once you find out
who the fuck they are.
Yeah. I know who Nick Frost is.
Yeah, Nick Frost.
You got some red on you.
I do. So, on my shirt.
It's a joke.
It is a joke. Jokes. That's the joke. I don't even know. Like, I've been trying to rack my brain, like...
Well, the obvious answer to me is Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin would be the best goddamn Vince McMahon ever. And ironic. Because of who he also plays currently. Triple H. Because Triple H is obviously important in this because he's an executive now.
Yeah.
Sean Bean.
I can see Sean. I was going to say Sean. I was
Sean Bean.
I was going to say Kit Harington, but he was a little bit too young.
Yeah,
but
Sean Bean.
It's a lot of Game of Thrones stuff.
Yeah, a lot of Game of Thrones, and obviously he'll die. Triple H will probably die.
No, this will be the one time Sean Bean
because he's
die.
Triple H, which I'm fine with because Triple H is wonderful.
The irony. What else?
Who else? I mean,
so outside of...
And the Miz will just play himself.
The Miz will play with himself.
Yeah. Doesn't have to when he's got Maurice.
God damn it.
Fuck you, the Miz. Like, seriously, you got Maurice?
He earned his shot, man. You know, he's...
All right. He's earned a lot of stuff in the past.
He started out as a
fucking Maurice.
Listen, Jesse. If nothing else, you should understand that just because you start your career as a reality TV show star doesn't mean you can't ascend to great things.
Like having sex with a really hot French chick.
Like, or, the presidency.
There you go.
So, there's a lot reality stars could do. And you know what? Credit to The Miz. He has come on something fierce.
And he isn't as horrible as Donald Trump.
We don't know that. They do have foreign wives. Let's move on.
Rather have fucking Maurice than what, Melania?
Yeah, but you remember, they got married like 15 years ago when Melania was like 19.
That's true.
So she was really hot then.
Yeah.
Now she's still pretty hot at 40. Let's move on to a
Dead behind those eyes.
Well, you would be too. Let's move on to a new segment. Similar to what you have seen on the internets. I have many thoughts as well. And I'd like to point out that I have never been given credit for essentially creating wrestling podcasting. I've never been given credit for creating and instituting a number of wrestling things that have happened that I can't get into, but that I created. So now I'm going to just steal from other people's ideas.
Get yourself a 5-minute timer on this.
Okay, all right. Hey Siri, set a countdown for 5 minutes. I'm going to fix the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Division in 5 minutes or less. So, what do we have in the WWE Tag Team Division? We have a million goddamn teams. We even have the Headbangers last I checked. Remember that. That's important. That's going to be later on. We also have in the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Division a number of really well-established tag teams. People like the Ascension, the Vaudevillains. We also have, to some degree, the Fashion Police, Breezango, whatever you want to call them. We have the Usos. We have a lot. We have American Alpha. We have all of these amazing tag teams in the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Division. Yet, I bet you haven't thought about the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Division since Rhino and Slater won the title. Do you know why that is, Jesse?
No.
Because you don't care anymore. The Rhino Slater build and Ultimate title win was actually phenomenal and really well put together. But it did have one fatal flaw. That fatal flaw being that once they won the title, there was nothing else for the division. You essentially killed the division in order to create champions. So, here's how you fix it. You can't go back in time, but you can go forward. Instead of just having Slater and with Slater and Rhino win the title, you should have had them get all the way to the finals, face American Alpha in a face versus face match, and then have American Alpha ultimately prevail, and then you create a groundswell of people saying, sign Heath Slater. Because I was there when we did the sign Cedric chant at NXT, and all of a sudden Cedric Alexander was the greatest thing to ever happen. Mind you, he lost that match. So, at that point, you then have a white-hot American Alpha having defeated a white-hot Rhino and Slater. You have white-hot tag team champions. Then you can start building other champions to face them. So you bring in the Usos. They're the obvious choice. All of a sudden, they lose. They get knocked off. You bring up the Vaudevillains. You make them credible tag team champion contenders. They don't have to win. They just need to be in the division. Maybe American Alpha knocks them off. Same thing with the Ascension. Finally, after all of this, we come all the way back to Heath Slater and Rhino again after, 6 months later. They go for the title, and then they finally win it. And they take it off credible champions, and then they are credible champions as well. And then what have you done in the interim? You've created a number of heel tag teams, lower and up or down on the card, who can then fight each other and ultimately go up against Slater and Rhino again. And then, all of a sudden, you've got viable tag teams. And people aren't losing their shit when the Ascension wins a 17-man tag team 17-man tag team match. Pardon me. No champions involved. Why would that ever happen? People were losing their goddamn minds that Ascension won a match. You know why, Jesse? They haven't won a match in 2 goddamn years! And that's your problem. You can't have a tag team division where one team wins. You just can't. That's not a division. That's a champion and everybody else. You could just take them out and put in the headbangers for 2 weeks. And that's what they fucking did!
I'm sorry, we got left.
I got 1 minute and 42 seconds. All you have to do to fix the tag team division is put the belts on a heel team like they do in NXT all the fucking time, and then let somebody chase them for a few months. And in the interim, you have other teams face teams, and they win and lose and win and lose. And I know you're saying, oh, but trading wins and losses, that doesn't create real drama or anything. Fuck off! We don't have any drama! We have 0 dramas! All you have in the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Division are the current champions who are... American Alpha? Okay. You have them, and you have everybody else who hasn't won anything in a goddamn lifetime. It's not that difficult. Just have the other teams win a couple of matches. Build them up to the pay-per-view. Then they lose. Next team gets built up. Then they lose to the pay-per-view. This is 1980s Memphis booking. How is it this difficult? And that is how you fix the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Division, easy for me to say, in less than 5 minutes. Jesse, there's 30 seconds left. Do you have any thoughts?
No, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. I completely agree. Yeah, I don't. Outside of what you just said, there is no SmackDown Tag Team Division. It's the champions, and then like you said, basically everybody rotating around the champions, and we're 3 SmackDown Tag Team champions deep so far,
right?
And the first 2 were they were like thrown together tag teams, and
don't forget Bray Wyatt, and Randy Orton were the second champions.
Yes.
Oh, we're out of time on that.
Well, that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut my stuff out. That was a good little segment. I'm gonna put that on YouTube. I have a graphics. All of the SmackDown Tag Team Division is basically just like, here's everybody all at once. It's like the cruiserweights when the first cruiserweights showed up, and it seems to be the model that they did. They did this with the women, with the divas when they were still divas. It was just, here's all of them. Here's it all. Take it all. But there's no like traction.
There's no linear story. There isn't. I have no interest in watching American Alpha defend.
And American Alpha won in a multi-man match.
Yeah.
On a whim on SmackDown, unadvertised, 2 weeks or 3 weeks after Bray and Randy won the belts, and it was and all of that was done. All that only existed to function as a way to further rift the Wyatt family,
right?
And because they did the Freebird rule, and it was Luke and Randy defending, and I'm like, I'm enjoying the Wyatt family story right now. Like Luke is a face now, and it's great, and Luke is fantastic. Truth be told, I'd rather see Bray and Luke for the WWE title at WrestleMania. That's not going to happen. They need to have Randy in.
You got to have
in their mind. They have to have Randy.
Listen, Jesse, what you don't understand about wrestling fans, okay, is that if you don't have your star power, people won't know what to do.
It's true.
You have to have.
We're intelligent wrestling fans. We're professional.
No, we're not. Not even us. We're too stupid too. You have to have really old wrestlers winning your major titles. Because we have to stay in this centric idea of
only, I know what you might be segueing to.
Only the old and overdone and not really, it never really worked in the past, but we're still going to keep hashing this shit out over and over again. We have to just stay there because you can't just have new and different things, Jesse. The wrestling fan, you and me and all of us, we're very scared of change and we don't know how to embrace it. Never mind the fact that NXT was one of the hottest properties in the world for 4 years?
4 years.
4 years in a row?
You're welcome. It was us.
Yeah.
It was us. It was us. We taught the fans how to.
We did.
Your sash is over there.
Yeah, thank you. But we also, we're scared, Jesse. We're scared of change. Okay. We're scared of new ideas and different ideas. What we want things to be like they were. We want things in the 90s. We want the Attitude Era back. That's why we got Goldberg, and that's why he's going to face Brock Lesnar, and that's why they're going to fight for the championship. That's why we have Randy Orton, and he's going to defend our love of the 90s and the late and the early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s as well, yeah.
Against this new oncoming era of things that we don't know and don't understand. So that's why we voted as a populace for the things that we used to like, in the hopes that if we just put all of our faith into somebody who probably doesn't know what they're doing as a champion just yet, like, you know, because Goldberg hasn't really been the champion per se, but if we put all of our faith...
He doesn't have much experience.
He doesn't have much experience.
Recent
but you know what?
experience.
It's not recent, but he's had a lot of previous experience as champion. Now, those championship they did end. They did end. And there was some weird legal proceedings that happened because of it. But that doesn't mean that he wouldn't be a great WWE Universal Champion. Much in the same way that Randy Orton wouldn't make the WWE Championship, just return it to its previous glory. This AJ Styles guy, he was new, he was young, he was untested, he was from a weird area of the world that people only really responded to in that area. You know, only Japan cared, right? Only Japan.
Yeah.
Only Japan, Jesse. So we had to remove the title from him because only Japan cared. And we put it back on a guy who we know is a bread and butter guy in John Cena.
Yeah. Real meat and potato.
Real. You know what he is? He's real America. He's what.
He's a real American.
Well, we can't. You know,
let's not go that far.
I got a little rapey. So that's why.
There's lots of black friends, though.
Well, that's what I hear.
Yeah,
at least one.
We'll have to check when they open up the Hogan Beat shop. Oh, did I spell it out? I'm sorry.
So that's why we need to just go back to what things were. Okay. And it's going to work. Now, never mind that we don't have a plan, that we don't know what we're going to do after Goldberg wins and after Randy Orton wins.
Yeah.
And that after like 2 or 3 months of Goldberg and Randy Orton as champion, we're probably going to all look around at each other and go, holy shit, what have we just done? Then we're probably going to have to do something about it because, you know, those guys are prolific on social media and they're probably going to say some dumb things. Like, you know, Goldberg ran his head into a wall, Randy Orton poops in women's bags, allegedly. So there are worries, Jesse Long, that if we put all of our faith into these old guys, old white men specifically, and not young men or men of a color of any particular variety other than white, we would have issue. Certainly not women.
Even Goldberg's beard is white.
No, see... That's why he might not win, is they had the color in his beard.
Yeah. It's a very roundabout way of trying... Yeah, we... You
ever notice how the WWE is sort of like akin to politics right now? In our country, anyway. In America. I know there's, you know, international...
There are other countries.
Yeah. You know, America isn't even the name of the goddamn country.
No, of course not.
It's the United States.
We're the United States.
We're the United
America
States of America.
Yeah, there isn't even there isn't even an America.
No, there's many Americas. There's North America and South.
Central and South. Yeah. I guess the whole.
Do you know why we're called America? You know why this whole continent is referred to as the Americas?
No. Why?
So the original explorer wasn't Chris Columbus. He discovered Columbia. This is important.
Yes.
Another explorer shortly thereafter discovered the landmass of what we now refer to as the Americas. His name was Americo Vespucci.
Yes, I remember that now.
So we are named.
Middle school.
We are named as a country for.
That's when I got into wrestling. So I guess all the knowledge fell off.
I want to say a Spanish explorer. I think Americo is Spanish.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, a Spanish explorer. You would say he was an undocumented explorer from another land, but
you have to see them papers.
Yeah. I'm very worried that the WWE is going to put all of their faith into old names. And I don't want any more old names.
No.
I'm tired of old names. I want Kevin Owens to lose the belt back to Finn Balor the way it always should have been. And I'm disappointed that Finn, who looks to be back up to 100%...
Yeah, he's roughly there.
Actually, this leads me to another interesting thought. Did you see Finn at the UK tournament?
Yeah.
And you saw, like you saw him talking to the crowd, right? Do you really feel that Finn felt what he said was what he wanted to say, or do you think he had some other thoughts?
I think when he said the thing about like the fans deserving it,
Yeah.
and then the fans start chanting, "We deserve it." You could just sort of. He was obviously Finn is super diplomatic and he's a good guy.
He's a company man.
Yeah, he's a company man. He knows he's loyal to everything and he knows how to toe that line.
Right.
But at the same time, yeah, it's just that. That
didn't work. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It's just that. Fuck. What have I done?
I can't believe I said that.
I really shouldn't have said that. This was a bad choice.
I have to wonder if Finn is happy with his place right now in the WWE.
I think he is. Well, once he comes back,
now
I mean, it isn't a given that he's going to be in the title picture because look at the title picture we're going to get at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
but I feel like once WrestleMania season is over and that like trickle down from like the part, for lack of a better term, the backlash from all that.
You could go with backwash.
The backwash from WrestleMania filters out. I feel like Finn will be up towards the top still. I don't know.
I'm concerned for Finn's place because
unless he came back to SmackDown, which wouldn't be the worst.
I want to see Finn on Raw. They made the Universal title specifically for
Finn. It looks like it's the Demon title.
Right. And he got injured, which is unfortunate.
Of course.
People get hurt. And then they moved it over to Kevin Owens, which I thought was a decent idea.
I love that they moved it over to Kevin Owens. I popped huge for it, and I'm still happy that he's Universal Champion. I mean, it's been an entirely forgettable reign. But yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
So, this show has been heavy in politics for a joking reason. Oh, wait, before we get to that, I'm sorry. There was the new WWE comic debuted this week.
Well, it was a couple weeks ago. Or is this issue
It was
2?
within, I think, issue 2 just debuted.
Okay.
But, my friends at my local comic shoppery, we'll give them a plug because why not? My local comic shoppery gave me some really awesome swag. You've seen the sticker. Yes. We also
I assume it's a sticker. Either that or it's some sort of like
maybe it's a vinyl decal.
Might be like it's got a heavier weight to it.
But check this out. This is from Boom put this out, and it's the checklist. And you can
I see the checklist on the back. Yeah,
you can say the artist's name properly.
It's Rob Schamberger.
Schamberger. I never get his name. I'm very fortunate. I have a Simon Gotch Rob Schamberger upstairs.
Yeah.
You guys have seen it in the Fortress of Nerditude.
The what?
Oh, the Fortress of Nerditude. The thing that I fucking created 5 goddamn years ago.
Before that. It was before 5 years ago.
Anyway, I have that, and this is awesome. If you guys can get to a comic book store and get one of these,
I love Rob Schamberger's stuff.
Watching his YouTube videos about how he creates his art is incredible.
But
the best thing,
I love his. I really like his. I mean, obviously, all of his stuff is great. I mean, like his stuff that's done like for WWE shop. It's very like this is WWE art, but then he does stuff that's he does some non-wrestling stuff, but I really love his stuff with like the older wrestlers. Like there's like the George Hackenschmidts and the Frank
the Bam Bam that he has with the flames.
Yeah, all of it is like older wrestler stuff where you can tell he's kind of going a little bit more like artistic with it. Those are great.
The coolest thing I got though,
I wonder if he has a Larry.
I wouldn't. Were these. Now, this looks like your typical comic book bag. Comic book goes in, bag gets closed. But it has this really cool WWE Universal title on it. If you can get a comic book that actually fits in there, I don't know where you put it, but it doesn't matter.
I had it. I put.
It's all right.
I put issue 1 in it. Whatever.
Here's the cool thing. It's not on the on the
board.
Paper. It's on the bag. So anything can be the WWE Universal Champion if you have the right tape. There you go. Check that out. Boom.
No fucks given cat.
Universal Champion.
Universal Champion.
So that's cool.
Those are really cool. It's
and
you don't really see stuff on the bags.
No. And I like what the WWE is doing here with their comic and with their variants which
I've seen some of the variants.
If Rob Guillory wants to send me a copy of his variant cover, that would be. I mean, I bought every issue of Chew. I'm not saying he owes me, but if he wants,
he did the New Day backup story.
He did the New Day He did the New Day variant cover.
Yeah, and in issue 1,
it's a 1 in 25, so it's pricey. But if he wants to just give me a copy, because I'm sure I would be okay with
at
that.
The read pile.
He can at the read. He's done it. He does it a lot. So I know
you're pals.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have to be.
Yeah. You started chain. You talked to Gail, and Gail talked to somebody else.
I keep asking Gail for things. She doesn't care. She's a nice lady, but she doesn't care. It's like Meredith Finch too. Meredith is awesome.
Yeah.
She's great. She's really great. She doesn't care.
She reminded that time when I photoshopped a churro onto a Jaeger.
I always retweet that on her birthday. We got to do something for David Finch.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've got I still need to read the WWE comic. I've got like I said, it has the New Day backup story. That's why I got it for. I don't really give a shit about the Seth Rollins story, but like the New Day, a New Day backup story done by Rob Guillory.
Yeah.
Like, how can you not go for that? Like, yeah, that's fantastic. The New Day is still wonderful. So
now there is another person that we know.
Yes.
We're actually friendly.
Friends.
Yeah. All right.
We'll go with that.
On
coining words left and right
in both the comic book universe and the WWE universe, and his name is Aubrey Stinson.
Aubrey Sitterson.
Sitterson.
Yeah.
What? I can never pronounce the last name.
Yeah.
You ever notice that? I screwed up Rob Guillory's name for like 3 years straight on the read pile. Nobody corrected me. Stitterson,
and people were actually watching the read pile.
I know. I can't get Rob Schamberger. I can't get his last name. I don't know what it is.
With first names.
I should. Okay, so
Aubrey, you can start screwing up first names too.
Aubrey.
Aubrey.
Aubrey is basically, and this is honest. Aubrey is everything I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Writes comic books, draws on occasion.
Does
he? He's very connected to the comic book.
Oh, okay, cool. I know he was. I was first.
I think he's writing G.I. Joe right now. Actually, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain of it. In fact, now I got to go to his.
All right, I knew of him from. He was like the community manager for like THQ WWE games for a while, and that's sort of how I knew of him. But
writer of G.I. Joe. Yeah, I know what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
I didn't know he was that. I didn't know he was that high up the totem pole. But
he sort of he has.
I figured he was sort of like in line with like a Ryan Satin type person.
Nice.
Yeah. I like Ryan Satin.
He has his own many ways of communicating via social media. And recently, within this last week, he came out and said that he is essentially boycotting or done with, depending on your definition, the WWE.
Yeah.
And
the boycott implies that eventually you could come back.
I think he's just done.
Yeah.
Either way, the reason being is that he doesn't want to contribute to the Trump administration. Linda McMahon is the secretary the secretary of the Small Business Association in Trump's cabinet.
Yeah.
And he is very anti-Trump, as many of us are.
As anybody with a brain.
As many of us are.
Many of us are.
Or people are allowed to have their own opinions.
No, of course, everybody's allowed.
As many of us are.
Even if it's wrong. Just fucking around. Yeah, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'm just fucking around. All right, continue.
Okay. As many of us are. His point, though, that he didn't want to give money, essentially, to the WWE because Linda McMahon is part of the Trump administration. So he's not...
And there's logic there.
There's plenty of good logic, and I'm not gonna dissuade him of that. Now, here's the thing. If you've been watching the entire episode, and you have, you heard Jesse and I go on a very comically political rant about how the SmackDown and Raw old guys sort of represent the GOP, and how NXT, SmackDown, and Raw's new guys are kind of like the liberals.
The liberals with their progressive. And
they're
open to like anybody from any background, from all different countries.
Yes.
I don't think we really touched on that. Like they're open to every from all race and
languages.
Yeah, race, gender, size, shape,
religion. Because Mustafa Ali.
Yeah. Well.
He might be from
okay. This is a little thing we never really talked about. So Mustafa Ali turned face a few weeks ago in his hometown, and so and like his whole gimmick was you judge me based on my name and based on my appearance, and that's that's honestly a smart Middle Eastern heel.
Yes, that was
gimmick.
the original idea of Tiger Ali. Not Tiger Ali Singh. Who was it? oh God, the guy. Oh,
Muhammad Hassan.
Muhammad Hassan. That was the original gimmick for Muhammad Hassan.
This is a realistic, like, you're booing me just because my name's Mustafa Ali and I look like this. And then, but then, like, he had, like, a match in his hometown.
Yeah.
And they turned him face in his hometown. And he was like, look, all right, I judged everybody incorrectly. I'm going to do everything I can to break down these barriers and, like,
You're going to break the walls down?
He's going to break down the... He's going to, you know, break down the predisposition based on who he is. And then, you know, without spelling it out. And just be like, everyone hates me because I'm Middle Eastern. You know, and then that segment ends... Little commercial, tap out commercial probably. The next segment, here comes like an Arya Davari in the headdress and like the super Middle Eastern music. There might have been a camel, I'm not sure. It's just like they're breaking down barriers.
Did he wear camo to the ring too? Like he's a soldier?
No. You're thinking of other. Yeah, you're thinking of other people.
All right.
Yeah. So it's just there's that.
Let's get back on point.
Yeah.
Aubrey is boycotting the WWE or not watching it anymore.
Yeah.
You and I have obvious feelings about why we don't like the Trump administration.
Of course. Yeah.
Why aren't we boycotting the WWE? Why aren't we joining Aubrey, who's making a very good point?
This is a very honest
and.
Yeah.
And you know, simply put, we're kind of being hypocritical.
To an extent, yeah.
We are sitting here...
And I'll even call myself out on being directly hypocritical on this, to an extent.
Yeah.
Because Dana White came out in heavy support for Trump, and at that point I was like, well, I'm done with the UFC then.
Right.
And, I mean... I was already kind of sort of done with the UFC already. I really could give a shit less. It was just like... Well, that makes my decision for me.
Right. You needed a reason.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Linda
McMahon...
I mean,
obviously, I'm wearing a fucking WWE Performance Center t-shirt. We're talking about the WWE.
And the reason why we're not is... Well, it's hard. This is genuinely hard. And by the way, the head of Marvel is a big Trump guy.
Is he?
It just came out a couple of days ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Head of Marvel? Who?
The newest one. It's like one of the guys...
The comics or the movies? Or the Vince McMahon of it all?
Exactly.
Okay.
But again, it's hard to remove the reality that Linda McMahon is a big part of Donald Trump's cabinet. She's on the cabinet.
Yeah.
She's not the Secretary of State, but she's a part of it.
No. Yeah, because she hasn't outwardly come out against black people.
Well, listen, our Secretary of State only just wants to oil drill in every place.
This is true.
And I'm okay with that because somehow in my head I can separate business from racism. I don't know why, but I'm just like, well, I mean, I don't want to drill in our natural resources and native lands.
You don't want to drill right over there.
I don't want to drill in my backyard, but I'm okay with drilling in my backyard if it means that all of the people get to benefit from it.
Okay.
Now, our Attorney General may not agree with that.
No, he doesn't want everybody to benefit
No,
from it.
he wants whites.
Yeah. He wants people that kind of look like this.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of look like this.
But how do we rectify the fact...
I was circling my face for all the audio listeners.
How do we rectify the fact that we can't sit here and say, bully, bullshit on you, Donald Trump, and they'd be like, have you watched the most recent episode of Raw? Because they are directly correlated.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult.
like our text conversations will bounce either between WWE stuff or holy fucking shit, the country's in fucking shit. And oh, by the way, here 205 Live was really great.
So what do you do as a wrestling fan? And what Aubrey's doing, I actually commend him 1,000,000% because I don't think I can do it.
No, neither can I.
I completely agree with him. He's absolutely right. But on the same token, I don't know if I can do it because there used to be...
you made a very good point the other day. I'm going to let you say it because it was your point.
I don't remember it, but you go ahead.
Well, you made the point of we have friends and family who there's plenty of things that will support Trump, but we don't outwardly, if you boycott the WWE, then why don't you boycott your friends who are your conservative friends? Boycott, not boycott, but stop talking to your conservative friends, conservative family.
You have to draw the line in the sand somewhere.
Yeah.
This is going to get us in a lot of trouble.
Go fucking ahead.
I had an amazing professor at UCF for my world religions class. His name was Professor Saif. S-A-I-F.
Okay.
He was this was in 2001, way back in the old days. And he was a Muslim.
Way back when you were in college and I was in high school.
Yeah, he was a Muslim man, and this in 2001 wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, yes, 9/11 had happened, but outside of that, it wasn't a dirty word to say, "Hey, that guy's a Muslim." It was just like, "Oh, that's his religion." Like, I'm a Jew and you're, I don't know, whatever the hell.
I'm nothing.
Yeah, there you go. But he would explain that in the Quran, there's like levels of hate.
Okay.
And you could do things actively to hate things and to show your and one of the last level of the Quran is if you can't do shit about it. Like I said, I don't want to go to Exxon anymore, but it's the gas station that's closest to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to participate in that. And he said, in the Quran, there's this level that says you can hate something in your heart and pray to the Prophet that it changes. But you still have to use it.
Okay.
So I look at the WWE and I think about that last part of the Quran that Professor Safe taught me. And I'm like, you know what? I am disappointed that not just Linda McMahon, but a lot of people are part of the Trump administration because I don't agree with it.
No. There's a lot of wrestling. Wrestling is predominantly a conservatively based medium. Like on TV and in like the public eye, the WWE is very sort of progressive for the most part. I mean, we talk about Nikki, shut up. She doesn't listen. I can tell her to shut up. I'm not allowed to tell her to shut up at home because then I'm going to sleep on this couch.
Rick, I told her to shut up. It didn't go well.
I made a mistake.
It's a very conservative.
Obviously, Vince McMahon is obviously like BFFs with Donald Trump. A lot of some WWE guys have came out like Dolph Ziggler is a big Trump guy. But I mean, but then obviously on the flip side, I'm sure there's a bajillion other, like I know Sami Zayn has come out. He's been a lot more political.
I don't know if he's anti-Trump as much as he's just,
he's anti-hate.
He's anti-hate.
Yeah, he's anti-hate.
And he's a Canadian Middle Easterner.
Yeah, he's a Canadian. He's. I forget what his Middle Eastern descent is.
I know he's Arabic.
He's Arabic. Then he's Arabic and like Canadian.
Yeah. So, I think it's just that. It's just, you have to be able to say, well, and then there's the other side of the coin, maybe we're just overreacting. Who's to say?
Well, we have a podcast, so that's our job.
Yeah, this is our job to overreact.
And we have a microphone.
I have a microphone in the internet, ergo my opinion matters more than yours if you don't. Obviously. So...
I mean, we don't have a microphone. We can't find our microphone.
It's installed.
There's a microphone in the computer.
It's in the camera.
And in my phone.
I guess the lesson this week, Jesse, is fandom, specifically wrestling fandom, is many-faceted.
Yes.
And when you start taking stands one way or the other, you really alienate and remove yourself from the society of the fandom.
Yeah.
Aubrey Stinson is going to continue... God damn it. Aubrey is going to continue is going to continue to be a big force in wrestling.
Yeah.
Through social media and comic books and things like that. And somebody who I still will respect and find
same here, of course.
Quite funny, honestly.
Yeah. I've always enjoyed Aubrey for many, many years. Yeah.
But he's also not going to be a WWE fan anymore for his beliefs.
No.
And as right as I feel he is, I think other people like you and I are just as right to look at that and say, well, that's not for me.
No, I agree. And I feel... Yeah, I'm able to separate my political beliefs from my fandom.
Separate the art from the artist.
Separate the art. Yeah, the art from the artist. It's like saying Kanye's a piece of shit. Yeah. He's a fucking psycho piece of shit. But Power's a really good song. Power's a really fucking good song.
I'm not a big fan of... their political beliefs, but Vince Vaughn is pretty funny.
Yeah. Wait, Vince Vaughn?
Oh, yeah.
Vince Vaughn?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
You're able to separate, I think for a little while, I think, like, even, like, The Rock was, I think he was actually supposedly,
think about it this way. I'm gonna put the idea in your head. Now, check this out. Last 8 years, we've had Barack Obama.
The Rock Obama.
The Rock Obama in the White House. Imagine how many conservative fans were pissed off about that.
I know there were. I mean, I have.
Right.
I have.
And they still managed to tune in every week anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So, maybe it's our lesson to learn from them.
You're not wrong. I think, I'm able to separate it. Now, if suddenly Monday Night Raw becomes the Trump propaganda show...
And that's important, too. Since Trump has won, and Linda was promoted to this position, this cabinet position.
Making a note, she seems like the most qualified
of
all of his.
Yeah.
She's if there was one.
Yeah.
It's her.
Yeah.
I watched the Senate confirmation hearing, or the confirmation or whatever that fucking is,
Yeah.
for her, and the general consensus that I got was from everybody there, Republican and Democrat, and they even acknowledged that. They're like, this is a pretty bipartisan committee. This is one of the few committees where like, yeah, we can agree on stuff. Everybody is just like, you seem really qualified.
Yeah.
We can't wait to work with you.
A business owner who started with nothing and became a multi-millionaire.
I mean, it was Vince, but I mean, obviously Linda's
she
there.
helped.
Yeah, exactly.
You ask Vince, he'll tell you that she helped a lot.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I think ultimately it's important to recognize that opinions don't end friendships.
No.
And
they don't have friendships. They don't have family.
Yeah.
I have.
But
all of my wife's side of the family, hardcore Trump.
But if
we've talked about that before.
If you do have a belief and you want to share that, and like Aubrey, stop watching wrestling because of it, more power to you.
No, it's your prerogative.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, I think that will about wrap things up for this week's episode. No fucks given, Cat. Do you have anything to add? Jesse's a pussy. Apparently Jesse's a pussy.
I am what I eat.
You kiss your children with that mouth?
I do. Goddamn right. I brush my teeth beforehand.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Cross. Okay. For the socially inept and physically disgusting Jesse Long, I am
I'm going to go with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am the sus man, Rick Sussman. And until next time, we are Team Hammond.
You know what?
What?
This is something that we never do. We never get our shit in on the show. We never put ourselves over.
Well,
we never. I mean, I get it. Where if you're watching this, you're watching it at Team Hammond, but we never put ourselves over. Every other podcast are like they spend like the last like couple minutes like I'm at this I'm at this Twitter, I'm at this. Why don't we actually get our shit in?
Give you two answers.
Okay.
Answer number one: we don't do the show weekly. We do it whenever we goddamn feel like it.
Okay.
So there's no real reason for
it. If you could give me logical, concise reasons, bullet points is why we don't put our shit in.
Two, between the two of us, we have like 7 Twitter handles.
Fair point.
All right. 3, nobody cares. I'm gonna rock your world. You ready for this? We're going overtime. Sorry. I'm gonna rock your. Do you know that President Trump has 24 million Twitter followers? Almost 25 million.
Okay.
Okay. Whenever he tweets something, people respond.
Yes.
The highest response rate I've ever seen was 50,000 likes.
Wow.
That's an amazing amount of likes, right?
Yeah.
What is 50,000 into 24 million?
It's small.
It's less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
It's less than 1%.
Okay.
So,
math.
If Donald Trump can't get 1% of his followers to respond to him,
okay.
Fair
point.
What the fuck does it matter that we're on Twitter?
That's fair. I will concede.
I will also point out on Instagram, Kim Kardashian has like 100 million followers.
Well, she's got a big ass.
The big old ass.
Yeah.
But she has 100 million.
And she dresses like Bret Hart, apparently.
Well, that's fine. Anyway. Oh, God, don't do that. Don't ever do that again. But she's got like 100 million followers on Instagram, right? Her response rate is like 200,000 followers respond.
Okay.
All right? What's 200,000 into 100 million?
Not.
It's very little.
Very little.
It's less than 1%.
Yes.
Evidently, social media is pointless.
You're not wrong.
So, if you're tuned in and watching Team Hammerfish...
Team Hammerfish. I did put a little hammer and a fist emoji on the Team Hammerfist.
If you're watching Team Hammerfist, Jesse Long and I, thank you for tuning in. Because we know there's literally 250 million other shows you can be watching right now.
It's true, and I probably subscribe to most of them.
There you are.
Yeah.
So that's why
I do sleep, according...
that's why I never put our Twitter handle out there.
Okay.
I think it's pointless.
There you go. All right. Hey, fair reason.
There.
That's a lesson to be.
That's a lesson on a lesson.
Yeah,
now, Jesse Long, you seem very adamant about this.
No, you made it.
No, fuck off. Go ahead.
You follow us at Team Hammerfist. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Team THFist. We're on iTunes. We're on YouTube. And that's it.
Okay, good.
There we go.
All right. Once again, for the Real American
No one's going to send us an email to Team Hammer Fist.
For the Real American Dad, Jesse Long, I am the Sussman, Rick Sussman, reminding you that if you need an hour to kill, you might as well listen to us. We are Team Hammered Fish.
The hammer, and I was trying to do the fish.
We are Team Hammer Fist. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys real soon.
All right. Oh, that worked. All right. Swipe down to stop.